Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. If you're one of my regular viewers, you know what's going on with the greatest hits. If you're not one of my regular viewers, let me give you a quick rundown. I don't usually review greatest hits albums. I'm doing a whole bunch of them right now because a lot of these bands are bands I will only ever pick up on greatest hits. I have no interest in picking up anything else from them. Or at least at this point, I haven't picked up anything else, which means I wouldn't be covering anything from these bands otherwise. So let's get into today. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, 30 Years of Rock Greatest Hits. Woohoo! I dig George Thorogood and the Destroyers. I mean, everybody knows Bad to the Bone. All right, so let's just say that Bad to the Bone's on here. You know, it's a good fun song. You know, it's you either like it or you hate it. There really isn't much in the middle. Okay, so we got that over. Let's move on from there. All right. The album starts off with Madison Blues. Madison Blues it's a fun song. I would consider it an album filler on a regular album. So I find it surprising it's on here. But it's not a bad tune, you know, like it's a good album filler, you know. I wouldn't call it like a deep cut, but I'm gonna say that it's just one of those songs that George really enjoys. Alright, then you got one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. This baby clocks in at 8 minutes and 20 some odd seconds. I can't read that if that's an 8 or a 0 or a 6. I think that's a 6. Anyways, really small rating. Really small rating. Okay. This song is great. Now, this one's obviously all about the story. Less about the story as you get towards the end, but this one's all about the story, man. This is a great blues man doing the story, and the percussion being done just on the guitar at the very beginning, man. That's some great groove, man. And you know, is that down on your luck kind of lifestyle that definitely would have been a huge thing kind of in the 70s for guys that just were having a hard time finding their way and were kind of floating around through life, you know. Guys that really didn't want to work in the factories, but you know, in some cities that was the only place you had was the factories, and you know, it just didn't work out so well from you. And in the 70s, a lot of factories, even the 60s starting, but the 70s specifically, a lot of factories laying off, stuff like that. So you know, you just kind of get that down out rut where, you know, you've been renting a room or whatever, because that's what a lot of guys did. You know, you didn't settle down with a chick, you rented a room, whatever. You don't need much, right? Good tune. Really good tune. Then after that, we get on to Move It On Over. Okay, so it's a good rocker. I understand why it's a greatest hit song. You know, it's definitely one of those songs where, you know, move it on over, move it on, rock it on over, rock it on, move over, little down, big down, moving it. You know, just good tune, man. You just gotta dig on it. Who Do You Love? Another good tune, man. Who do you love? Yeah, just got great chug to it, great riffing on it. One of the things I love about George Thorogood is how much blues there is in here, you know, and I mean some great multi-level, multifaceted blues from all over the place. You can hear some Southern blues in here, you can hear some Chicago blues in here, you know, there's definitely quite a bit of blues in here. Now, I'm going to take a moment before I go any further. There's a book with a little story on every song on here, okay? So this is really cool. Now, I've read through all of this once. I don't remember everything. And one of the things that really surprised me was how many songs on this album were actually covers. And that includes one of the songs I know best from George Thorogood. Now, that one I found out, I did not know at the time when it was originally released, which I will come to eventually. I didn't know at the time it was released that it was a song that was somebody else's. But I learned later on, not recently, But I learned later on, and when I found out, I was like, wow. And then I went and heard the original version, and the original version is pretty good, but I still like the George version. All right, we'll get to that song, though. All right, so Who Do You Love? Great tune. Really dig on it. Bad to the Bone. I already talked about at the beginning, Bad. Al Bundy, baby. That's right. Poke high, 4 touchdowns, 1 game, Bad to the Bone. Okay. Moving on, we got I Drink Alone. I prefer to drink by myself. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Good tune. Oh. I like I Drink Alone. There's just something about that one, man. Like, that's one of those songs I would definitely cover. I would absolutely cover. Gear Jammer. It's a fun song. It's a good album cut. I am sure there are people that are going to dig on that tune. Not a tune I'm into so much. Willie and the Hand Jive. Okay, so not into this one at all. Not in this one. Some people will absolutely love it, and it's definitely a fun, good, playful song. It's kind of like a My Dingaling kind of song almost, but no, just no. All right, next up we got "The Sky Is Crying," which is a live track. I kind of like some of the live tracks that were thrown in here a little bit. Not bad. I don't know if they're everything I'd want to hear from them, but now "The Sky Is Crying." I think it's partially the production value, partially the vocals. I don't like the vocals on them. I think they should have adjusted the song a little bit to accommodate George's range instead of George trying to find the range. Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like George is, struggling to kind of try and find that right key range area. So I think maybe some key changes or something might have been the right thing or something. That goes into Reelin' and a Rockin', which was also live. Not bad. It's okay. After that, it is You Talk Too Much. This is a fun song. Definitely not politically correct in today's day and age, but it's a fun tune. It really is. And going with that, you've also got If You Don't Start Drinking, I'm Gonna Leave, which is another good fun song. If You Don't Start Drinking, I'm Gonna Leave. This one really, to me, has a great kind of country vibe. Like, I could easily see country artists doing a few George Thorogood or a few songs that are on this album, whether they're George's or not. But if you don't start drinking, I'm gonna leave. Definitely has a very country-esque kind of vibe to it, but it's a good one. I totally dig on it. I get into it. It's that slide guitar. I love slide guitar, but I hear slide guitar. I want to automatically go country, even though I'm not a country fan. I've learned how to play slide guitar. It's just I'm not great at it. Better at it than playing regular guitar, surprisingly. Anyways, moving on. After If You Don't Start Drinking, you get to Get a Haircut. I remember when Get a Haircut came out. I remember the video for it. I absolutely love the video for it. I think the video is fantastic. That whole get a haircut and get a real job. Clean your act up and don't be a slob. Get it together like your big brother Bob. Why don't you get a haircut and get a real job? And get a real job. It's a great fun rock and roll song, but it's from some Australian band, which I don't remember the name of offhand, and I've gone and listened to that version as well. And it's good, but if I were to cover it, and I would love to cover it, I would be definitely covering the George Thorogood one, man. This one's just so much fun. Then you get to Rockin' My Life Away. It's an alternate take previously unreleased. I got no point of comparison. Whatever. It's not a song I'm overly particular about either. Then that goes into American Made, which is a little too American patriotic for me since I'm not an American. And then another variation of Who Do You Love, Rothbook Remix 2004, previously unreleased. I'll be honest, I stick with the original version. Works better for me. Yeah, those are my thoughts, my views, my opinions. I am a greatest hits George Thorogood fan for sure, which is why I've definitely never picked up anything else from George Thorogood. I would say that if you're interested in George Thorogood, this is definitely a good album to start with. I really enjoy this album. While there are some songs on here I'm really not overly into, I still don't mind when they're playing. They're still enjoyable tunes to a degree. Willie and the Hand Jive is probably about the only, and The Sky's Falling. Those two songs, they're both right in the middle of the album, so it kind of sucks because it kind of to me brings the middle of the album right to a grinding halt. But once you get past that, it's not too bad again. And then really after Get a Haircut, that's it for me in the album. But either way, it's a fantastic, wonderful album, and it's very enjoyable. So, if you're looking to find out how much you like George Thorogood and the Destroyers, check this one out. 30 Years of Rock, greatest hits. Okay, comment section. Let me know what you think. If you think there's a George Thorogood album I should actually check out, let me know. That's what that section's for. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell for notifications. There is a link below that will take you to Patreon. Peace, love, take care.